Jam. Defense is a big problem with this roster, and I just hope for their sakes that the 2 days that they have gone through now is enough to work on to get them past this initial hurdle. Of course, no prizes for third or second even, Jam. You gotta win the tournament if you want that 15,000 euros and 1 month test drive.
And since we are in a lower bracket, one of these teams is going home. This is the last chance saloon for either Team Vitality or Karmine Corp. And really neither of them, after some of the great performances earlier in the tournament, want to go home. Team Vitality still have a lot of pride to play with. Good news for Team Vitality, perhaps, is that in the very same tournament you have been referring to, which saw has they haven't handily won it. They finished second. In the end, the winner were Caliente, Zenseisen, and Exotic, by the way, also winning that tournament. That was roughly a week ago. Team Vitality finished third. Karmine Corp finished fourth. And as a result, it was Team Vitality who knocked them down to the fourth spot. So here's another start. And Radosinho, or Radosin as you most know him, gets himself the first shot, because that was not it, Astro. That was not it.
He's given him his own name tag, some Brazilian flair. But there was no Brigadeiro to the rescue, or Brigade to the rescue, I guess, in the defense for Karmine Corp. Again, I feel like that we've said something to that effect a number of times over the past 3 days or so, and it's really, at this point, I refer back to my previous point on that matter. If you're Karmine Corp, you've just got to outscore your opponents. At this point, much like Vitality with their defense, this is a long-term project. And if the short-term gains can be found by just scoring more goals and putting your opponent under more pressure, which, speaking of, Astral found himself on the backboard, wasn't going to get to that ball, I think wiping a few sweats off the brow as he sees it fall above the bar and not underneath the bar. Very close shave for him.
Well, first goal for Team Vitality came and gone, and that almost signals 2 minutes played. Perhaps Alpha and the rest of the team can set up something around. Itachi doesn't even care for a clear. In the end, his team still keeps the possession. But that physical play might have been needed here. Nobody from Karmine Corp is even near to react to that backboard play. Perhaps they were expecting Vitality to find an easy clear already, and so they didn't commit anyone. But here's one. The second one come because Alpha is already on the clear. And what I'm worried for the most, Relic, is Karmine Corp yesterday were really poor with their touches. When it came to defensive clears, a lot of them netted the goals, but not for them, for their opposition.
Itachi and Noli providing the lion's shares of goal for Karmine Corp, but they're not going to make their way much too forward on this occasion. Alpha 54 is, we saw a wonderful flip reset at the near post yesterday, but going for the far post, he's not going to find joy on this occasion. Radosin, the one lone goal scorer of the series, not able to move his way forward either, and a real midfield scrap now as both teams looking for possession. Demo on Astral. Itachi wins the challenge, moving forward. Meets K-Dop. In steps Noli here. Looking for that backboard second touch. Wins the challenge. It stays rooted to where it was, at least latitudinally as opposed to longitudinally. Bottom line is, it's not going to do much good for Karmine Corp, though. They're still on the attack. Astral keeps it alive. Itachi, the drop down, looking for Noli, and that's a big save coming out from Alpha. Astral, Noli hits up again. He was trying to help it with a doink, and Itachi's not able to force his way through either. Astral, again, still keeping it locked into the enemy half until Radosin able to clear the lines.
I will try to go for it again. Karmine Corp is still looking for that first goal, but now getting out of their own half when all the 3 Vitality members are middle of the field and everyone's throwing the blocks. That's quite a tough ask, and on this follow-up, Noli just puts it to the side. Yes, Itachi was already in the follow-up, but Team Vitality are just quicker to every single one of these free balls. They're just not allowing Karmine Corp anything. That's a beautiful bump. Comes out of nowhere, and Itachi, with the help of his teammate, and the most beautiful bump that Alpha just gets removed. A for A, Aster for Alpha, and we go Sepia once again.
You've got to love the confidence in Team Vitality. They see Alpha going up for the ball. They're expecting him to make the clear. What they don't expect is Astral just heat-seeking his way through, and he's going to get a goal for himself as well. Big man for the big moment? Maybe.
Oh, complete misjudgment of where the ball is going to go from K-Dop. Astral wins that challenge, and so with nobody hitting the brakes, I'm pretty sure the brakes were cut. Straight up. Wild card. Yeehaw. It's a straight-up goal for Karmine Corp. 2 in a span of 15 seconds, and we are now looking at the lead for Karmine Corp after they were looking for that opening goal for such a long time. Now, what does Vitality have? Oh,
Ooh.
Boo.
Ooh,
Repeat after us, Chad.
Chat not very happy with that shot away for Vitality. I think the Vitality have just become the people's enemies after that criminal activity from K-Dop. He was almost rewarded for a goal with it as well. He completely whiffs it, and Astral afforded the free save. Itachi's got some boost, actually. Gets over K-Dop. And Radosin makes the save that he had to make quite simply. 35 seconds left on the clock, as Alpha looking to reignite Vitality's hopes of an equalizer. Perhaps an overtime still achievable for the team in orange. Nolly. That's going to fall out to the middle. Astral completely misreads it. Maybe called off by Itachi. His shot goes wide. Radosin, counterattack, chipped away by Noli, who keeps it loose. K-Dop goes sideways. Itachi goes forwards. No way out for Team Vitality. They've got to do something. They've got to do something fast. Astral, just a nuisance, completely snuffing out Alpha, as K-Dop's going to try and find some joy in the firewall. There's Itachi now. Brilliant game management from Karmine Corp. Put the cherry on top. They go 1-0 up in the series.
There's the cake, there's the whipped cream, and now there is a cherry on top to finish up game number 1 as well. What a turnaround. Team Vitality, I would argue, if not had the dominance through the first half of the game, then at the very least had the enough control not to let it slip away to Karmine Corp possession. And yet, 2 quick goals, and Team Vitality after that just couldn't really show much. Alpha 54, I would like to single him out, but not for the good reasons. I feel like every single touch that he was trying to make was a little bit off, a little bit askew, a miss, and I think it all started with this. He was removed from that aerial, and ever since that moment, everything has gone downhill for him. And nothing really was generated in front of the goal either for Team Vitality. So I would love for them to see and take this break just a little bit for Alpha perhaps to figure out maybe he needs a part replacement somewhere. It seems like something in his car was severely malfunctioning.
I guess much in the same way as we saw the Formula 1 Grand Prix earlier on today. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And that first minute of activity from Team Vitality over the course of that game just completely washed away, to the point where we see Karmine scoring 3 goals unanswered and really looking like the dominant force heading into game number 2. Work for Team Vitality then as they move forward. Itachi's offered a free shot at net. That's easy enough for K-Dop. You can already see the boost situation is not looking great. Astral with some lovely car control. A lovely doink over the net, and had someone been there to put it in, easy 1-0 lead for Karmine.
Ooh, that was put some spring in your step kind of actions. He was just waltzing around the orange side of the field where Vitality really couldn't track him. Love this little bit of play. It didn't result in anything for Karmine Corp, but it shows that I feel like some of the upsets from the yesterday were perhaps forgotten. And of course, the 3-1 versus Vitality does put a lot of spring in your step as well. Let's not forget that. But it's a new game. It starts with a 0-0, and Team Vitality once again provides their defense. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Breathe out, Relic.
I'm sure Alpha had a sigh of relief himself after that one. We were talking about the errant touches earlier. He won't want to see many more of those back into Karmine hands. Astral, the pop-up for Nolly. Off the top of the box, he's got the flip reset. That's lovely from Nolly. Oh my word, what a play!
What a solo effort. Well, with Astral's help, of course, but here's K-Dop. He sees K-Dop, he sees Alpha. Nolly does not care. Name tags mean squat to him. Squadoosh, zilch, zero. He just goes and styles on 2 long-term players of Team Vitality as if they were, I don't know. I don't want to throw any shade on anyone in this tournament or anywhere else, but he just does not care.
Hello, RL Esports Reddit. Itachi back in, looking for a second. Again, a double commit here. Karmine Corp running the show. Although I have said this once, I'll say it again. I feel like the 1-0 lead, not good enough! And it's Radosin to the rescue again for Team Vitality.
I've seen him play a lot previously and score a lot in the previous series that we've seen on Dacia Spring Electric Tournament right here on the Rocket, as well as on the Rocket Baguette, folks, if you want to watch it in French. Our lovely colleagues, let me quickly take a peek who's there. Oh, of course, it's Boyan and Finish. Finish himself. I do believe actually, wait a second, Relic. Here's an interesting fact. Finish is the coach, well, for Semper Esports actually, so no surprises there. Carry on.
Never mind. And also, Carrion isn't here. I don't know where he is, to be honest, actually.
I just find it incredibly funny that Finish first goes to coach his team, in a game and then immediately goes to cast. That's the second time in a row that I've caught him do that, and man seems to be able to do both with aplomb.
You can't knock him for talent, can you? Is Itachi going to avoid the demo run from Alpha 54? Itachi is completely sussed out in the midfield, though, and Radosin seems to be the only goal threat for Vitality. Good news, he's got them the lead.
Vitality? Oh, Vitality, sorry. Vitality already got him the decal, thank God. But he seems to be the proactive player. He seems to be a nuisance that just appears in front of Karmine Corp, and he just has that pressure that I don't think Alpha and K-Dub necessarily have. They have perhaps a more old style of play. They like positional plays that like to rely on their maybe long drives or long dribbles, but Radosin just appears that there, tries to be absolutely annoying. Radosin again. Oh, no, well, K-Dub is coming in, so seniority, I think, plays a big role in that, where K-Dub for third one.
Oh, God. Just when you think, wow, Karmine Corp's looking great, aren't they? What happened, folks? Why? What's going on? You know,
all very good questions, Relic.
What is the happening? Why do we have one player so far back that you're not involved in the press, which is necessary to cover up your defensive issues? That's a lovely demo run from Astral. Nolly on the score sheet again, brings it back to a 1-goal game. And speaking of the Band-Aids, Jam,
where the touches from Vitality once again not reaching a point where it's far enough or to the side enough. This is straight to the center. Of course, there are going to be players from Karmine Corp there. K-Dub perhaps just giving a little bit of a gift to the opposition, saying, now, it's all okay. Don't cry. And the problem is Karmine Corp can really take it back. Radosin, once again, more individual plays, and every single time he has the ball, I bait my breath because he is looking impressive. He looks like that. As many times we have said throughout the tournament, a breath of fresh air. And there has been a lot, and he's definitely one of them. Can he actually create something from Team Vitality? Can he revitalize Alpha and K-Dub? Well, for now, they need to keep their lead in this game number 2, and the best of 5 that sees one of these teams going home.
Really great interview with Fairy Peak released the other day. Caught up with it on Shift RLE, where he basically said that this Team Vitality roster needed a change. It didn't matter who it was. It even could have been Alpha at one point. A change just had to be made. And I know that there are still many out there who think that K-Dot perhaps should have seen the axe. Fairy Peak was a not so much a like-for-like replacement, and that's just a load of whiffs in a row, which Astral, wow, last chance saloon to get it out the net. That could have been a disaster class from Karmine Corp. We've already seen one of them this tournament, with 3 players jumping in the air and not realizing that the ball was still going towards the net. Less than a minute to go, Jam, and it's still Vitality with the lead.
A chance for Vitality to put a 4th one at the very least. They had an idea coming into the attack, 2 players combining for a little bit of pinch, but nothing comes out of it. More pressure. Alpha way late for a challenge, but thankfully, while that goes on the backboard, nobody for Karmine Corp can really take control. Now goes the other way. They're trying to stop Astral. They're trying now on the ground, and Noli cannot swing it far away enough, but who's on the flank? Itachi. Nope, that's immediately going the other way. And Alpha would love to just kill the time, but look at that. Too far away for the ball. Radosin returns on back. Still keeps the pressure. If he can find another 50, Noli just puts it way too high, and Astral would have passed, but now Karmine are not close enough to get going. Every single time there is a pass, it seems like one of the folks in that passing triangle was not informed about that there's going to be a pass.
It almost feels as if they're not moving up the pitch as a team, right? And so that completely nullifies their counter-attacking threat, and that's what Vitality are going to prey on. Karmine still keeping it up, by the way, but it is eventually going to hit the floor now. And that is 1-1 in the series. Vitality, a lot to thank of Radosin on that particular occasion, Jam.
Yeah, 2 goals for Radosin. K-Dub scores 1 and assists 2 of the Radosin's goal as well. And Team Vitality have pushed their opposition back just a little bit. Again, a couple of demos here and there also helping out for sure. And Radosin just... It feels to me just there's a lot more proactivity with this play that nets Team Vitality the chances. As, for example, here he goes for yet another one. Noli way in the background is no longer even a part of that play. He's just not there. He is not there. And Karmine Corp, despite what we've seen from them in game number 1, could not find the same goal-scoring opportunities. Noli, Itachi, and Astral, well, both of them showed promise today in that first game specifically, just could not keep up the same pressure and the same points in game number 2. So how about game number 3? If this is going to go in any way, the way that Sa and Semper series have gone on through, we might be here for a long haul as both of those teams exchange games back and forth, and back and forth again.
Such a shame that that game number 2 won't be remembered for Nolly's amazing goal, very much just put into the background by the defensive frailties of Karmine Corp. Alpha 54 looking to pry on that again. Nolly with a good backboard read, technically a double commit as he is, and the teammate were stuck there. Oh, big save from Itachi. I thought he was just about going to make it. He makes a second one just for the heck of it. Nolly infield. This is going to lie in wait for Karmine Corp as the ball still dangerous, still loose for Team Vitality. K-Dop not able to beat out Nolly. You can see Itachi lying in wait, but Radosin with a lovely poke just out of harm's way. Itachi steps in, Astral, neutral challenge. Itachi carries this forward. Itachi, no double tap for him. But here comes Nolly, and there's K-Dop with the save.
I was worried that, or I mean, I shouldn't be worried. I should be elated to see more goals. And you could see Karmine Corp players sitting on the flank ready to receive any old drop that would happen. I do believe that's Itachi hunting for anything, rolling his way still. Possession with Karmine Corp. What a beautiful idea. But I think this pass is going to slow down Itachi, looking to return it back to Astral, but Astral says, nah, sorry, I don't have any boost. I'll have to retreat back. You try to figure something out of it. And while this is all happening, they still keep finding the boost. Look at Team Vitality. They're quite low. Kado finally gathers one in the corner, 100 for him. Maybe now a chance, and with the ball going all the way back, it's now Karmine Corp who are forced to be looking for boost.
Yeah, familiar scenario there as Karmine was camped in front of net, but unable to do anything. Alpha, lovely flick. Backboard, and Itachi's going to get their first. K-Dop forced out of that. Forward to Nolly off the backboard, and unfortunately, no Karmine Corp player gets there first. Itachi going to pick this up as well. Infield pass to Nolly, and Alpha, big save. K-Dop misses as well as the on-rushing player. It falls eventually to Nolly. Wasn't expecting to receive it, and that allows Radosin the chance to stretch his legs. Got some boost. Astral up to Itachi. Nice crossover play here. It's Itachi going to win the challenge as well. Goes to the far corner. Going to pick up that 100 boost. Miscommunication in the backline for Vitality. Backboard again for Karmine Corp. When are they going to put it away? K-Dop with a big save. And away again this time from Radosin. Astral onto the backboard this time. They keep on hitting the woodwork and they keep on not finding the goal.
And still, even with a demo by Radosin on Noli, only now they have found the clear, because just a moment ago Karmine Corp still took the control of it all. Alpha beats 2. Noli still in time on the post, and that block is instrumental. It goes nowhere near the center of the net. And so Karmine Corp can just retreat, refuel, and get back in on the action again. But those Radosin 50s in the air, they keep the ball alive, and Itachi cannot find a good enough touch to get it out of his own net. Team Vitality, push, pull, press, but they finally get themselves a goal.
That's gorgeous from Radosin. There's so much just time wasting to allow his team to get into good positions. The follow-up off the backboard from Alpha, lovely placement from K-Dop, could have maybe been marginally better, but even then I'm picking and criticizing when ultimately they've got the job done. 2 minutes left for Karmine Corp to find a reply of some sort. Astral finds Itachi, but again K-Dop gets a good touch, and one of the most experienced men in the RLCS now, K-Dop. He's growing into this series at a good time. Radosin, backboard. Is there a third? No, Alpha taken out. But another challenge win for K-Dop, exerting his influence here as Radosin looks to exert himself onto the net. In comes Alpha. Double save. Radosin back in. 2-0 Vitality.
Behind his back, but Radosin still finds himself an opportunity. And all of it starts, guess from what? From him going for the ball again. Itachi stuck on the post, tries to make a play, but you never want to be friends with woodwork. It's like fate or fey, whichever you want to take it. You might want to get their lines, but in the end, chances are you're going to be left flat-footed. And so Itachi cannot find anything of that. Karmine Corp can see the second one, and the time is a ticking, Relic. And we only have 70 seconds, and Astral might try to go for something. It's hard to... He had 0. He literally had 0, and Team Vitality almost helped him to bring that ball into the net.
They finished 3rd and 4th in that tournament a week ago. Are the roles going to be reversed? Vitality certainly looking to set up that reunion date with Semper in the lower finals after heading down to the lower bracket thanks to the Golden Ninjas. Radosin, and here's Itachi, nice touch. Alpha pushed back, and 2 players now forced back. Itachi wins another challenge. That's going to go towards net, but really nice game control here from Radosin. Just puts it off to the side, cancels out the threat. His team's back now and ready to help him out. K-Dop, no flick for him. Itachi towards the net. Radosin's not going to get there. 23 seconds left. Karmine still alive.
Now. Karmine Corp with an opportunity, and that touch by Noli pretty much beats 2. I would say it beats 2, and Radosin tries to follow the rotation of their teammates, but it does not work in his favor. Perhaps a kickoff goal? We could see a kickoff goal. Karmine Corp previously scored a kickoff goal. I think by this point I should stop saying kickoff goal.
Kickoff K-Dop does really well. Demo on Nolly. This is going to really do a lot of hurt for Karmine, who, again, still managed to go forward, but not too far before there he is again. K-Dop. Astral. Oh, nice cross-pass play here. Itachi, flick over 1. K-Dop, can he kill the ball from here? Astral lurking, Nolly lurking, and he does indeed. He beats out both of them. Big game for Captain K-Dop. And Vitality head on to match point scenario.
Big K for Team Vitality, and 2 wins in the series means that indeed they only need to win 1 more game. What can Karmine counteract for that? They tried everything, and it just did not stick. Still would love to see the return of Itachi and Noli passing plays. I would still love to see Itachi in that playmaker position. He usually sits very deep and just wreaks havoc in front of the opposition's net. But it seemed like in this series, he has not been allowed the time or the opportunities to create the same chances. And also, to me, it seems like they just cannot get their offense going when their defense is suffering. And they might need a chance to maybe just retreat back and try to play from the back and from the basics. They know that one of the biggest threats to them is Radosin, who likes to be straight in their faces, and one of the players really to watch. Yes, K-Dop and Alpha are on that team. I would argue that Radosin right now needs the most attention, as K-Dop and Alpha are known quantities. And while Radosin has also been popping up as a bubble player, previously with Williams Resolve, and now, obviously, as a result of this, I would still say that Radosin's X factor is what Karmine Corp really need to put a point on and make sure that they nullify it.
I'm wearing my Joker shirt. Radosin very much the Joker in the pack on this one. I always felt coming into this series, it was going to be who makes the most mistakes as to who goes home in 4th place. Right now, that's Karmine Corp making the most mistakes and Radosin making the most of that, and it's lovely to see K-Dop as well getting back and involved. It's not often that we say that Alpha 54 is probably the most quiet of Vitality, but sometimes a quiet game is what is required just to steady the ship. Immediately off the kickoff, Radosin looking to put Karmine to the sword, and he's going to have to retreat back now as Itachi looking to get something started as the French organization Derby goes off for potentially 1 more match. Karmine looking to drag it out to a 5-game series. I think that would do it very much justice given how fluctuating the form of both of these teams have been. Cleared the lines here and back to Itachi. Up against Alpha. Manages to dance his way past 2, but also takes it a little bit too far wide. Nolly infield looking for Astral, but Astral very isolated. Vitality swarm that. They win the challenge as well. Astral force all the way back.
He starts yet another attack for Karmine Corp. Radosin, who else but right in front of everyone. Itachi, well, K-Dop never had a chance to do anything with it. In the end, just leaves it back. But rotations from Vitality are coming back in again. They grab themselves a boost in the middle of the field, which means that returning back, if anyone's going to go back, they don't even need to go back. K-Dop piles on the pressure and finishes out the move. Team Vitality have started this really a moment ago, and that is just a lack of read and great positioning by K-Dop as well. Not a position you would usually find your attacking player in, but he is there. He receives the ball. He scores the goal. Oh.
It looks to me that Itachi was showing far too much respect to Radosin almost. He was expecting Radosin to put it in and not expecting it to go wide and for K-Dop to be ready to poke it in nice and low. Itachi way too far forward now, and you can tell that the frustration is written all over the faces of Karmine Corp. They've seen this story one too many times before. Shot on target, another double commit. And Vitality growing from strength to strength here as we head towards the 3-minute mark.
What can they find still? I think a second goal would do them wonders. But second goal against Karmine Corp, there might be a chance that they will deflate, and God knows what's going to happen. He looks for Astor in the middle of the field, but the touch is not right. Tries to keep it alive. At the very least, leaves it away from Team Vitality. If only for a second. Those touches are not it for Karmine Corp. Every single step of the way, they're forced to go out of their comfort zone and make a touch that really is a necessity, rather something that they really want to make. And that, now that's open Noli. You could see how early Noli reacted to that. He was going for a rotation, but then he saw, no way this is getting through. And thankfully he returns back, so Karmine Corp is safe.
Where are the bump plays? Where are the demos? Where is the confident passing between teammates? Well, there's something for Noli to work with, but he completely whiffs the ball again. Astral back in, gets a double commit. Radosin gets the touch most crucially. And here goes Alpha. Actually not going to get there. Astral, again, if you need a bit of a hero moment, well, perhaps he is the person to look to. But as has already been well documented, not exactly on song for this tournament. The best we've really seen of him has been in this series, and already looking more like a flash of brilliance. No, not the NA Org. Back into the midfield. Radosin finds Kadop. Again, the clearance complete here. There's Noli to try and start something from square one. Lovely pinch off the top of the box, I should say, rather. Flummoxing my words, because I thought Astral was going to make the touch. He didn't. Still in dangerous territory here for Vitality, but again, the defense is solid.
That Noli touch could have been great as a shot on target, but for a pass, it was just a tad too pacey. And Astral could not chase the absolute bullet that Noli has put. Demo. And demo-wise, every single time we look at the stats, there are always about 4 demos per team on average. So there's definitely it's just we haven't seen a goal being created for them. A little bit of boost steal here and there, and this is incredibly important. Look at the numbers for Vitality.
Chance.
They have nothing. But Astral has nothing as well. And while all of this has been happening, they're now on the rush. Alpha, thought he had a flip reset. Definitely had the touch if I was looking from this angle. But this all goes the other way. The way that Karmine Corp wants it to go. Astral, too much traffic in front of him, and Noli immediately finds Alpha 54 against him, and no chances, not even one.
There is a point where trying to fake becomes counterintuitive to your overall game plan, and I think Karmine Corp, not for the first time, are getting inside their own heads here, trying to overcomplicate things. Noli just going for the straight backboard hit, and Kadop equal to it. Itachi looking for Noli. That's nice. Back around the corner to Noli. Lovely play, and it's Radosin to the rescue. And it's Astral back in. Radosin so strong in the challenge. What a hero he's been for Vitality today.
I wish to see more of this from Karmine Corp. Where were these passing plays previously? Oh, I know where they were. We've seen them before, and I've been demanding to see them again. And I love to see that they did not go for the 1-2. They went for 1-2, way back to 1 again. But even with that, Vitality had it under control. Alpha plays it slow. Watches Karmine Corp defense flop about. And they are the magic carbs, but doesn't help him. Doesn't help him one single bit. One last salvo. They're going to the attack, but that's a drop. That's just a drop. Thankfully, it goes on the wall. Can they create anything else? Alpha with control. Doesn't have to flip reset. Noli doesn't really have much in Astral. Look at their boost numbers. Astral on 0, grabs another one, but Kadop at this point already marches in on forward on the backboard. Noli misses! And that's all she wrote for Karmine Corp Relic.
Well, they sure did go supernova, didn't they? But unfortunately, they were burnt out by the end. Team Vitality. What did I say? It could as easily be a 3-0 one way as a 3-0 the other. Not quite the 3-0 for Vitality, but doing super well to once again grow more into the shape that they want to become accustomed to heading into the spring split of RLCS. Kadop with a huge series. Radosin with a huge series, covering the blushes of Alpha 54 a little quiet, but he didn't need to pop off in the way that we usually expect of Alpha. Karmine, very much architects of their own downfall. Yet again, they finish 4th.
Alas, and Vitality just repeats what they did before. They knocked down Karmine Corp last time they met. It was a 4-2. But again, that's a tournament. That's not even ours. So we can just forget about that. That has nothing to do with us anymore. And they're proceeding on forward, and their opposition is gonna be Semper Esports, who have been waiting in that lower bracket final for a while now. Which way that's gonna go, and how many games that's gonna go for? I have a suspicion this might go a full distance again. Previously, as you see, Semper Esports took Vitality to 5 games, or it's actually perhaps a question who took who to 5 games. Although we know that Semper Esports have won that previous series between these two. This is now going to be a best of 7 relic, and unfortunately, we're going to be watching it from the sidelines. When we come back, Craftman and Spooks are going to be taking on that matchup. Who's going to take it? We'll just have to wait and see.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Dacia Spring Electric Tournament here on the Rocket RB, and we are nearing the end of our tournament. My name is Craftman, that's Spooks, and we are ready for our lower grand, well, not, I was going to say lower grand final. It's just the lower final, nothing grand about it, but there's two grand teams taking part. That is Semper Esports versus Team Vitality. Spooks, we saw this match earlier on in this playoff bracket, as you can see, and Semper Esports came out on top of it in what was a really thrilling 5-game series.
It was not easy at all for either of these two teams. We had a 4-minute overtime, close matches apart from the two in the middle. We'll just ignore those two. But expectations then come out for this one to be quite close as well. It's, of course, the two full French rosters of Semper and Vitality. Vitality winning 3-1 over Karmine Corp. In my opinion, that matchup just looked like Vitality is just simply the better roster right now, and Karmine just could not get things together.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier that Noli really was the linchpin holding Karmine Corp together, and I think that was evident in that series against Vitality. You wanted to see him go with his passing plays with Itachi, and then Astro stepping up as well. It's just not been there for Karmine Corp. Hopefully they get everything sorted in the next couple of weeks as they progress into the next split of the RLCS. But right here on the Dacia Spring Electric Tournament, it's Semper and Vitality. Now, Semper, we saw them earlier, Spooks against Surt. They struggled sometimes to get some plays going, but I don't know how things are going to go at this time against Vitality. Now a best-of-7 series. Who do you reckon comes out on top here?
At first, I had Semper actually winning it in like 4-2, 4-1-ish. I'm gonna say it's going into Vitality's favor for 4-3.
4-3. I can see this going all the way as well. I really don't know who's going to come out on this top of this one, but Exotic, he's the one to put himself in front 8 seconds into the match, and he's got one already for Semper.
Never mind, 4-0 Semper, it's done. Get out.
It's done.
We'll move on.
It's chalked already.
Nothing to talk about anymore. Our job is done here. We'll just move on to the grand finals. Everything's done, but in reality, of course, it isn't. K-Dub right away bouncing back. What a save from Exotic. Not letting him get that early counter goal. And she'll set now in the defensive end. There comes a demo over on Exotic. Passes to the middle, just a bit too far ahead. This may be a big clear, but should be an easy save by K-Dub. It's still in a good spot. Exotic gets a couple more touches, but the save there all the way to the side once again. Meaning that Alpha gets the control, passing to the middle. No one really there. No one really wanted to pass with Alpha, I see.
No, not really. Overdosing, just leaving that one for Alpha. Not sure if he actually intended to do that, but that's the intended consequence for him. But Redosin, he meant to do that, all right. Top corner, top bends, ties it back up.
Pass from Alpha, straight down, beautifully done from the ceiling, and then threading the needle right there, getting the one slot he could put it in and putting it right over there. Top corner, 1-1 in this series. So far, looking to be a close one, looking to be an exciting one as Casio takes it high, leaves it alone for Exotic. Good play right there, but the save is there, of course, as well. K-Dub now letting the ball drop into the middle. It's Casio, quick, early, and fast, but still has to be careful. Exotic with a good hit up for it once again. K-Dub still holding it together right now for Vitality. Ooh. Double commit right there may actually not go into their favor, as the double commit really just removed any speed you could have gotten for the play. Exotic with the shot, but not strong enough.
Nice transition from Semper. We talked about that with so earlier on that they were able to transition quite well, and Semper really couldn't pull that out of their playbook. Now here against a team like Vitality, who are going to sit back a little bit more and might open up a few more passing play options for Semper as Alpha goes off the backboards, tries to find Payda. Back to even Stevens, back all square. Vitality again trying to fight out of their own corner. Semper are not making it easy on them, and they're playing the aggression game, which is kind of what Sue were doing to Semper earlier on. Here comes Alpha, maybe a rebound off of the back wall. Ultra Dosen not able to follow up any better than that. It's really even between both these teams. A quick start for Semper, a quick response for Vitality, and now both of them happy to stick with the status quo.
think for Vitality, you really should have looked at the game with Sir playing against Semper and seen, okay, what worked for them? Why did they win against them? How did they do it correctly? As K-Dub goes for the 1v1 with the bump attempt. Not finding the bump actually being a hit. This one does get turned into a demo, but it's from Shalzet, who now tries to go further ahead. Gets bumped out of the way. Casio with a good clear over onto the backwards. An awkward position to be in. Shalzet with a quick shot, but saved this time around. Exotic can't do much either. And it means Rodosin has an opportunity onto the back wall once again. Is there a quick shot? There was, but it was just a bit too high. Follow up from K-Dub, finding the net. 2-1 lead for Semper.
I'm going to say smart backboard play by Chaussette. It says you struggle your words, they struggle with defense to Semper. Chaussette just not realizing where he's clearing that ball to, and K-Dub will say thank you very much. Or merci beaucoup, as he would say, because he's French.
We're still not done with that.
We're still not done. No, I've been told to stay away from the impressions, whether they be French or Smeagol.
I like the Smeagol one, that's fine, but
that was rubbish.
The French one was not that great.
Yeah, we'll just leave all the. I'll keep doing an impression of myself. How about that? I'll just stick with that for the rest of the game.
Nah, that's a bit boring.
Rest of the day. It is boring, but.
What hasn't been boring?
This has not been boring whatsoever.
Exactly.
Certainly not. Both these teams putting on a show. Best of 7 still ahead of us. One of these teams will make it into the grand final. Semper want to get revenge on Sir for that upper final. Vitality looking to get there themselves, and it will also be a rematch from the final, upper bracket final of Group A from Thursday. Vitality are able to find themselves in the grand final. 30 seconds left. K-Dot maybe looking for a third. Exotic will just collate that on top of his car. Now, what does Semper have in the tank? They've not really seen them play all that fast as of late, Spooks, but now they want to turn up the gas, turn up the heat, and turn that dial up to 11.
Maybe even 12 if it's necessary, but so far it seems the defense from Vitality is holding on strong. It's Casio setting it up for his teammate Exotic, but can't go any quicker. Cascada blocking him off once again. And really, the Championship Sunday stuff for K-Dub is still going on, as there's a team save, I think. It almost looked like it as, once again, Radosin finding the angle. If I hit that, it would have gone out through the post.
Yeah, I think Radosin's lucky that the posts don't collapse in this game. Otherwise, he'd have to rebuild Manfield Stadium all by himself, because that was an absolute rocket ship heading into the Semper net. A little bit of retaliation back here from Semper won't yield any points, and it won't really make a difference either way. Vitality do concede right at the end here from Chaussette, but they do walk away with the Game 1 victory.
And so far, for Vitality, who has impressed me the most is K-Dub, really. And yeah. I'm surprised I say this, but he hasn't looked the best during this entire tournament. And then Sunday, he looks stellar.
Yeah, I mean, you can never stop Championship Sunday K-Dub, and he's really proven his worth here as well. And I know coming into this tournament, we talked about Vitality, and did they make the right roster move, taking out Fairy and putting Radosin in, or should it have been K-Dub being the one that is sitting on the bench for Vitality? I think with the quality and the prestige that K-Dop has behind him, the veteran instincts, it's good to keep him on this roster and train up this young talent in Radosin, and obviously still playing a vital role here for Vitality. But of course, still a long series ahead. Semper can rally back, and I mean, everything, just looking at the stats from that game, everything was still fairly even. It was just Vitality had the upper hand, and it was a couple of mistakes from Semper that really turned the tides in that one.
And with that being said, I feel like K-Dub, especially during this game, was basically doing what I feel like Karmine Corp needs their third to do. It's pretty much filling in the gaps, making sure things keep going, keep flowing, and keep playing together. Get those passes to one another, get a couple of bumps in, a couple of demos, and making sure those saves get a save. But is he going to be able to do it in game number 2? Only time will tell.
Time will tell indeed. As game number 2 gets off to a quick start, and it's a really quick start for Vitality. It only took 7 seconds in this game, 8 seconds in the last one, and they're already ahead once again.
And a simple bump from Radosin, meaning that the defender was out of its path. And that lead, once again, it's gonna be so important for Vitality to get those leads consistently early on. Force Semper to get out of their shell a bit, force them out of their own half, and then move on to get those counterattacks going, as this one is missed, but maybe just freeing up space for Alpha, but the fake not working out this time around. Radosin out of the control, looking for a pass, looking to get it into the middle. Gets it under shot set, well done, but still, it isn't enough for that second goal. Alpha trying once again. 50, leaving it over for Radosin. Can he get this stuck in the blue half? Because it has been stuck in the blue half.
As very much stuck, being stuck in this blue half, maybe stuck in the back of the blue net. As Radosin fires and misses, just rattles it off the crossbar. And I will correct myself, it was actually Semper who went up in game number 1, 8 seconds in. Vitality looking to go 2 up here. Alpha 54 rattles it off the top right-hand corner of the net. And again, Semper just being put on the back post. Where these shots are going in or not here, Spooks, it's a lot of pressure being put on the Semper defense, and they're really not able to make any headway in getting upfield, and Alpha will put another one in.
And this is what I'm talking about for K-Dub, setting himself up right here, and instead of going for a quick shot that it's easily going to get saved, finding the back pass into Alpha, who of course reads him to Z, and that is a 2-0 lead for Vitality. It's going to be very hard for Semper to really bounce back right now. We've seen it before. They aren't the ones who really are able to bounce back that quickly. But you have to do it right now, as another shot comes out from Radosin. K-Dub going high, taking his time, looking to force people out once again. Gets Exotic to bite, letting Alpha go this time around, but no shot to be found.
Vitality are doing a tremendous job at just holding Semper back in their own half. I don't think I've seen a real good opportunity for Semper to come forward whatsoever. Every time they have, it seems that Vitality have the capability to take this ball right out of their hands, and Chaussette is the last man back here, the only man back in fact for Semper. Has to take that away from the face of his net. But again, you see Semper, they're just booming the ball upfield, and every time they do, Vitality put bodies in front of it and manage to just steal this ball away from an attacking Semper.
As Radosin hits the ball high once again, it's on to Alpha. Pass into the middle, Chaussette can't get the best of touches, and that is what Vitality is forcing here right now. Once again, Radosin trying his best. But they are forcing Semper into a lot of awkward scenarios due to them blocking off the midfield. K-Dub with the fake and the bump. Casio, luckily enough for Exotic, helping him out right there. But still, Semper aren't safe. They still haven't really been able to get consistently out of their own half. Chaussette tries it this time around. Alpha blocking him off. And Radosin is just quicker than anyone else. Can he find the double? It drops straight down. No one able to hit the ball this time around. Chaussette hits it to the side. Still looking for the control. Maybe a counterattack in the making, but it's blocked off by Radosin once again. And Vitality really looking solid.
Again, it's just Vitality putting bodies in front of Semper and causing them issues when they're going into attack. Vitality love holding down this middle of the pitch, and Semper really don't have an answer for it at this point. Casio will try and make a meal of it in the corner. He'll call it an Exotic. Where is Chaussette? The Devil does come through, however, on Radosin, but Chaussette had his pockets picked, and Alpha has a third for Vitality and for himself.
It feels like Vitality is just playing at a different game speed than what Semper is able to hold up to right now. It is feeling like what happened with Suh against Semper, but just way more noticeable this time around, as Vitality just takes the 3-0 lead right here, looking to maybe just get that game 2 going. And, well, I was saying at the start 4-3 for Vitality. I thought I was being a bit brave with that. Right now, I'm not feeling that, that it's that unrealistic. And Chaussette, this ball does not even go in.
What a read from Chaussette, but it was even better defensive prowess from Vitality. Able to take that one away. K-Dub looking like he wanted to bump Casio out of the road. Here comes Chaussette though. Maybe another chance for him and Exotic to link up. But again, the reads from Vitality are just superior. They are reading the minds of Semper Esports. staring deep into the well of knowledge that they have, and they've done their tape study here. Spooks, they know Semper's tendencies, they know what they like to do, they know they like to give it to Exotic in space, and Exotic has really just been shut down this entire time. I think I've said Chaussette's name this game alone more than I have seen Exotic actually hit the ball.
Perhaps that is true, but right now you still have to try and get a way out. And that is the problem. If you only go for your plan A and you don't have the plan B set up, you're gonna have matches like this where the enemies are just able to counter you non-stop through, as Casio now has to go back quite quickly, but doesn't even get the boost. And the awkward touch out means Verdosen can bring it back into the blue half once again. There's Alpha 54, tries to do the breezy. A little bit cheeky, but with the last 10 seconds counting down, you cannot blame him, and you cannot blame Vitality for just looking so good.
They do look really well rounded now. A fourth will not come through as bodies fly. But the only thing that's flying through the minds of Semper Esports right now is what can we do to get anything on the board? Look at those shots as well. I can't even count. 15 shots from Vitality and only 5 from Semper. And the field domination as well, 72%. Vitality were running rings around the Semper boys.
I think most of that field domination probably has to come down to that startup where we saw Vitality just lock Semper in their own half for like a full 2 minutes. They were not able to break free at all. And I feel like that's the difference. If you want to counter Semper, look now RCS teams, because this is the way to do it.
It's just ridiculous. I'm just in awe of the shots of the stats that I'm seeing here. I mean, eight saves. Semper had to make 8 saves. Vitality only had to make 4. That's insane. And like, I'm just thinking back, you know, the last few days that was seen Vitality in action, Spooks. I would certainly not have picked this team as, you know, playing this style of play. For me, even yesterday, they were playing a little bit too slow, a little bit sluggish, but they've adapted. They've found a rhythm, and Vitality are all over Semper Esports. Semper do not have an answer for this right now. And even if they put it into the hands of Exotic, which they're trying to do now, they just get their pockets picked. But oh, Chaussette maybe a shot on net. But Alpha, the defense for Vitality, as little as has been tested in the last 5 or 6 minutes of gameplay, they are still on the ball when it comes to all aspects of Rocket League right now.
And once again, Vitality trying to push that envelope, trying to get those early goals going for themselves. Kato back into the middle. Casio with a good clear though towards the side. Casio once again tries to get to it, but can't hit the ball as Exotic takes it along with himself. Kato with a good 50, but it ends right in the hands of Casio. And they get that early goal for themselves, and that is exactly what they were needing of.
Yeah, great work by Exotic in the corner here, and Vitality maybe just a little bit of lapse in concentration with all 3 members tucked away in the corner there. And I believe it was Radisson and Alpha just hurrying back to the mouth of the goal to try and make a stop on it. It wasn't worth anything. It was great play by Exotic in the corner to work it round everyone from Vitality and even just bait those guys in initially. That's what Semper rally back with within the first minute of a crucial game number 3 for them. If they lose this one, a full best of 7 reverse sweep is going to be required, and it's very rare that we see those in the top end of professional Rocket League. As now Exotic out of the corner, tries to find Chaussette and will, and up to the backboard once again. Vitality is as good as they looked in that game number 2. It's been a relatively slow start, although Alpha trying to turn on the jet engines does find Kato, but a little bit too far.
Casio with a clear coming out, but Verdosen finds a good hit back into the middle. Alpha 54, a quick shot to be found, but Chaussette has to, or at least blocks the double tap attempt. Verdosen now in the defensive end. Gets it past 1. Can he get it past the second? Does find it past the second, but Chaussette is still in the defense, getting that save. Looking to transition back onto the offense once again, but still nothing to be found. And you see, this is what Semper is good at. Once you are in the lead, they really try to slow things down. The entire game, you can feel like it has been slowing down more and more and more. And it is up to Team Vitality to get this game back up to the speeds where they can force those types of mistakes out of Semper.
It's complete polar opposites of what we saw in their game yesterday as well. It seemed like whenever Vitality took the lead, they were the ones happy to slow it down, sit back, and maybe even just take that 1-goal or 1-0 game win, as they did in game number 1 of that series yesterday. Now Vitality are the ones trying to be aggressive, and Semper are happy to stick with their defensive plan here, as now Chaussette maybe a little bit of free air. Does get the demo on Alpha and will allow... I thought Exotic might have been more inclined to move up there, but again, it just shows you how changed their game plan has been. But slowing things down instead of going 100 miles an hour the entire 5 minutes.
And what I'm at,
shot.
Good shot by Radosin, good save as well by Exotic, but what I am noticing is a bit of a playstyle that I haven't seen in a couple of years. I don't know if you remember it yourself, Crafters, but the old Veloce playstyle. It really feels like it's being brought back up again.
Boring Veloce.
And I am excited.
I hated that. I hated Veloce. They were so boring.
I loved Veloce. And I'm seeing Casio go up right there, but it isn't getting past Elva this time around. Up comes Radosin, quick shot, but the...
Oh, boy.
That ball just enters on in. I was lost for words for a second there, because I did not expect this to happen at all.
I don't think Chaussette was expecting it to happen, but he makes the pinch with the Vitality defender. And again, we saw this a lot from Semper yesterday, that they were the ones being aggressive, overzealous, and just pushing a little bit too far, and they paid the price for it. Now Vitality are paying that price as well, and Exotic racking up the bill as they put a third in the back of the net.
How does that go in? Oh, that is so painful for Vitality. But on the other hand, Semper must be laughing right now. They've been laughing this entire idea right now that they just can get goals like that going for themselves as well. But it is going to be important going into game 4. For both these teams, it's going to be so important who gets that first goal.
Really will be. As we do approach the last 60 seconds, and Vitality maybe just a little bit stunned in this one, maybe a little bit complacent of how they've been playing up until this point. Now Semper find their rhythm. Talks about Vitality being in sync with one another, and all 3 members, I mean, up until now, Vitality really haven't had one particular standout player. If anyone, it's been K-Dot, but all 3 members were working so well together in the couple of games leading up to this one. Now it's Semper finding their groove. And maybe K-Dot even finding one for Vitality at the end here. Casio will deny it. They want to keep their sheet clean here in game number 3 and put a pit underneath their name to signify that they've got a win here in the lower final best of 7. And moving into this next game here, Spooks, do you think Semper can keep this style of play up and just force Vitality into making mistakes? Because that's how they won this third game.
I honestly have no idea if they're going to be able to do that. I don't know if Vitality is going to allow them to do that, but game 4 will be a fact, and we will have the 2-1 be a fact as well. It wouldn't have been right if this ended up in a sweep for Vitality, now would it have?
I did not expect either. Well, if anything, I would have expected Semper to sweep this, but Vitality, if they swept out Semper, that would have been one hell of a statement going into the grand final against Suh, which is where the winner of this game will find themselves. And obviously, coming from the lower side of the bracket, they'll have to bracket reset. So who have not dropped a series in this tournament as of yet. So for either one of these teams, it's crucial to get some momentum behind you. But for Semper, I think now that they've found a way through the Vitality defense, they're just going to keep this one going. I wouldn't be surprised if we even see a goal within the first maybe 5-10 seconds of this one, right off the kickoff for Semper. But there goes 5 seconds. Okay, maybe I might be wrong. Okay, wrong for once.
Just once?
Just the once. I'm only correct, 85% of the time, I'd say.
Fair. Good statements, good stats. Well, you're wrong this time around. It's Radosin. It gets that opening goal for Vitality. And that is what I was going to talk about as well. Semper is currently relying on mistakes of Vitality, but what if there aren't any mistakes being made?
Yeah, not many mistakes. All the mistakes for Vitality, I suppose, were made in the previous game, so they've got those out of their system. They're now barreling towards maybe taking this 4th game. Still another couple for them to win, 3 to win for Semper. Still a long